This podcast is hosted on podhome.fm, the most modern podcast hosting platform. Podhome offers unlimited episodes and podcasts, and unlimited use of Podhome AI, which generates transcripts, clips, chapters, title suggestions, show notes, and much more. And all of that for just $15.99 a month or $185 per year. That's a steal. So go to podhome.fm and start your 30-day trial now. And enjoy the show with Joe.
The Joe Rooz Show. The show where we talk about anything and everything. Where nothing is sacred, nothing is watered down, and nothing is PC.
Alrighty. Hey folks, this is Joe Rooz, and it is great to be with you once again, transmitting live, of course, from the asylum. And as always, doing the very best we can to bring you the best quality talk radio we could muster without all the bluster. Welcome to the show, folks, and joining us on the right side of your screen or left side of your screen, not sure what it is, I get confused, I get turned around and all that stuff, is the practical prepper, Dr. Prepper, Wayne Rankin.
Yeah, evening, Joe. We're already 1/3 of the month done.
I know. It's crazy, right? Father's Day is right around the corner.
Or as I call it, Mr. Insignificant Day.
The day when you get mostly, some of us barely even get a Hallmark card, right?
It's like, Mother's Day is like $87 billion they spend on Mother's Day. Father's Day is $37.50.
If that.
That's total of the whole country,
If that much. Don't make me laugh when I'm sipping my.
I'll time it. I'll time it a little bit better next time.
Yeah. What am I drinking anyway? What is this? No, this is my black cherry sparkling water.
Okay, good. Yeah, it's just
too much coffee.
Gosh, I was sitting at 3 a.m. coming up with jokes, and I had some really good stuff. But it's like, it's a bummer because I got to go write them down, and I'm going to go tonight, and I got some really good material. I'm going to save it for next time, but it's some really good stuff. It's just like, I'm thinking about insignificant, I said, guys at our age, when we get an erection, it's like those insignificant holidays they make up. It's National Walk Your Dog Day.
National Pencil Pusher Day.
Yes, exactly. Those ones that are insignificant, like I said.
Well, speaking of insignificance, let me run through the housekeeping stuff. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, folks. Listen. Before we get started with our Wednesdays with Wayne, our practical prepper information segments, just want to remind you guys that head over to our website, joerooz.com. That's joerooz.com. When you get over there, look for that contact section. It's in the upper right corner of your website. That little pancake up there, just hit that thing, open up the contact form, send us over a message, let us know whatever's on your heart, whatever's on your mind, any questions, comments, cares, concerns that you might have. Maybe you have a complaint. You shouldn't, but you might. Send it on over to us. Maybe you have a suggestion for a particular guest or a topic you'd like us to discuss on the show. Let us know what you think. Now, if you don't want to use the web form, which is totally fine, I get it. I hate the captcha thing too. Always email us directly at info@joerooz.com. That's info@joerooz.com. You could also leave a comment down below on Rumble or on YouTube if you're still on such a thing. And we'll make sure that we get that as well. Also, to remember that this is a live show, weeknight, 7 p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And then our Sunday show, our Sunday Bible Study show, every Sunday afternoon at 2 p.m. Central, 3 p.m. Eastern. And also, folks, very, very important, please, 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 please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the show with your friends, your family, and your followers. That way you help us to spread the love, the joy, the information that our show brings forward to you each and every episode that we do. So please make sure you do that. Very important to us. We want to get discovered. The best way to get discovered is by sharing the show, liking the show, subscribing, following, whatever you want to do. We appreciate that. All right. Now, Dr. Pepper. Dr. Prepper.
I wonder if someone's already got this name. Joe, I've been, going through the past few years, there's all these preppers on there. A lot of them talk in their car, which I'm not thinking that's really prepping. But the word prepper, I mean, like I said, if they had like one of those Survivor shows and put all the people over preppers, it wouldn't even be fair. I freaking smoke them. It's not even close. I've read on some of their sites, she's trying to get you killed. Yeah. Really, it's just some of the stuff that the people put on there. Just I'm going. It's not being prepared, because when I would go on a hunt, I mean, you're talking so many hunts. There's no cell phone service. There's like an outlet box. If you make it down from camp and go 5 miles, you have one of these boxes. You can get like an emergency phone to fly a chopper in to get you, type of thing. That's how it's so far back there. It's way, 6,000 feet up in the eastern Oregon mountains. And I mean, being up there for 2-3 weeks, and you better have everything you need. And if you get a game, be careful how you're field dressing it with your knife. Because usually you better have a sharp knife. If you screw up and you take a nice little slice there, you better be a good doctor on your own, or someone who knows some medical attention. And
I would imagine.
You got to know how to, you take a suturing kit and learn how to do it. You prepare yourself for this. The word prepare, we don't understand about what the word really means. Prepared everything. I mean, even in your car, I got 2 or 3 different types of bags. I got the ones for the breakdown of the car, this, and I don't use the jacks, tire jacks that the vehicles are, stock ones. I get like a jack, like you'd see at a auto shop, a small one. Put it on there, boom, 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 you're up. These little, I'm going to show it, these little crisscross ones that go like this, don't. So I have a bag like that, and then a bag of provisions, no matter what. It's in the cars, all the time. And you'd be shocked if you break down, and I have a ham radio with me, so that, and I have other different communications. But we live in the Pacific Northwest. I mean, we're out here in some places. But the thing of preparedness is I've been preparing myself to clean up the property. We're working on a long-term thing here, long-term in the sense of it's taken a long term to get this cleaned up. And the building I had, I inherited with actually hoarders. I mean, it was like, I don't know how people do this. I guess they have their way of doing it. And there's TV shows like this, but I like I said, I could carry everything in a suitcase this big, my whole life. And part of it is it brings rodents in. It brings in just it's not just one level of stuff. And boy, I have extreme prejudice when I get rid of stuff. I'm extremely prejudiced to toss the stuff. If it's not my name on it, I don't care. If there's no tools in it, I don't care. So and I just read the one. If you haven't used it for 3 years, get rid of it. I'm talking.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right.
Non-tools, non-stuff. I mean, tools are different. And since I wanted to brought up the subject of tools, I got a big deck box. I built it myself. It's obsolete now, and it's housed too many rodents. So I'm getting rid of this deck box. I didn't know I owned this many screwdrivers.
Isn't that always the case, though? When you start cleaning stuff out, you find stuff that you don't remember ever having in the first place. Well, and you think like, I needed this like 3 years ago. How come I didn't know I had this 3 years ago?
You know what happened? We were down to, I can't find it, a Phillips. I go, crud, I think I got 2 left. I couldn't find it. In my shop back there, I also call the shop as Wayne's Free Storage. And people brought stuff in my last administration. Whose stuff is this? Well, I said they could use the place for a while. And like I said, they had a time limit too. Like I said, someone left something there. It was like 7 years, like the tribulation, Wayne's tribulation. And I tossed it, man. I did. My wrath was furious and anger, just like Ezekiel 25:17. And I got rid of the stuff. But I go, screwdriver. So she goes and buys me a new pack of them. And I pulled these out of this box today. There's got to be 2 or 3 dozen of them. Of every brand, Stars, the of course, the ones we're looking for, the Phillips and what have you. But I got the whole deck out there. It's going to take a couple of days of spreading it out. So I'm going to emphasize today, from talking with you, and then after we go solo here in a second, getting a toolbox set up inside your house for whatever it is. And like I said, we had a flood here a week and a half ago, but I didn't need tools. I just need to crawl under and turn it up. And our neighbors next door, they had a flood too in their room, but they got like way too many people on the toilet. I mean, there's just like too many people, man, in the toilet, in the bathroom in there or something. They got like all these sons and daughters are coming back home with their spouses, and it's like, how many? It's a lot of people in that house. And the pressure on the plumbing is now, it gave. And so the whole floor, whatever, underneath and stuff. Something about the toilet exploded. But people don't understand that you can only put so much in there. Okay. And I have a septic tank. And I get, I will distribute toilet paper. I had a buddy from high school stay here. The dude was using a roll a day. Almost a roll. I go, man, what's going on here?
How many? Well, I don't even want to know.
No, I don't want to.
Like how many times a day does he go to the bathroom for crying out? Or is that just from one sitting?
I don't know, but the thing was, he didn't understand what a septic was. Big city, and he was an engineer. It's crazy. It's like, city, and the thing is, I can survive in a city. I grew up in a city area, an urban area. There are people that cannot survive out here. They just can't. There's no way. He didn't even know what a septic really meant or what it was and how it worked. I said, I'll show you real soon, dude. I'm going to cut you off the 10 sheets a day because it's called a septic out there, and it will.
I'll give you 5 sheets of 2-ply. I'll give you 5 sheets of 2-ply. You got to separate the plies.
Rationing has begun.
There it is.
Thought COVID was bad. My ass is even tougher than that. So, but
all right.
I've been going through my tools and preparing like a toolbox and getting, the only thing is you take the risk of putting stuff in your car because nobody cares about smashing a window nowadays. Those days are long gone. The 70s where it doesn't matter. They see something in there and they pick up something, they smash your window and they're going to take it. Buzzers or horns or anything else, they don't care. We're living in really a pretty radical, just it's a free for all, said Nugent Road, and so I do like being up here in the woods still. And I did finish my garden. I planted I got in by June 1st. My last seeds are in. I got my beets in, my peas. I got some flowers for the bees, and what else? Cabbages. Broccolis, those type of things.
Beets, peas, and flowers for the bees.
Exactly. And so, yeah. And hey, the roses out there, like I said, the bees are all over, and she's going to have a good honey, good honey deposit this year. She's going to do pretty good on her hives. So we should have some honey over the winter, which is great to cook with. And I make some really good elixir. I'm going to bring Joe an elixir that I make really good. And our cherry trees are going to be really good. I take these cherry trees and get rid of the pits. They're really good for medicinal purposes. I'm not kidding, in the wintertime. And so all the antioxidants, and I pick a really good brown liquid to go with it. And like I said, me and the roaches, it's between me and them at the end.
There you go.
Unless it's the time I get explode. So here's one I brought up this week, Joe. And someone asked me, they texted me, why are all these billionaires leaving the country? A lot of them are. Mm-hmm. I guess Kushner and Ivanka Trump are they're not moving out of the country. They're building their own island.
Interesting.
Okay. I figured you go buy one, but I think they're building it, which I still don't understand how that works, but I figured this. Yeah, I guess a lot of landfill, but a lot of people are leaving up here because we're here. We got Microsoft, Amazon, UPS actually started up here, and Starbucks. You know those 3 guys right there, Starbucks, Amazon, and Microsoft. 3 guys. I don't even want to say their names, and they are filthy, filthy, filthy rich. So there's those 3 right there in the top 10, 5 in the whole world, and it's Seattle. And so Seattle's a dump, and it's falling apart. The mayor has never owned a job, never had a paycheck, and lived at home her whole life, and they voted her in. And she's, oh gosh. It's a disaster. Went for a baseball game. I'm done. I won't go there again. And so I can understand. It's just I believe the conspiracy part. People would say the billionaires are just they're distancing themselves from us. And I mean $1 million anymore. I think when I grew up, there was a guy named Thurston Howell III. Well, lovey, he was a millionaire. He had like $3 million. It's like. Gosh, I know guys that have $3 million. You know what I'm saying now? And the millionaire and his wife. It's part of the
right.
And it's like someone's comedian said, whatever how many millions he said, millions. It was more than 10 million. There's guys in this area right here to have that. $1 million is really nothing in the sense of, you have $1 million to retire on. A buddy asked me that. I go, no, I don't need it. I'm really good, actually. I don't want to go. I don't want to leave the country anymore, Joe. I don't want to go anywhere outside of America. Alaska's kind of out of the country, but still America. I'm landing in U.S. soil.
Right.
I never want to go to Hawaii. It's not my thing. And I really go to Alaska and catch salmon and all that crazy stuff like that I enjoy. And we have a trip planned next year. And I hope to get the evolution. I don't like using that word, but it's for me, it's a technical term. The evolution of my tech and my studio down here. I'm going to make one heck of a show when we get to points where I can get her a little more get her off the camera shy, because she's a great personality, man. She doesn't understand it.
She looks so uncomfortable. I went back to that video when she was on the show. She looked so uncomfortable. It was. I
know. And she did a TV commercial in Texas. It took them like 27 takes, but I go, you just got to get over this. It's just talking. But I said, we can do this show and go up to Alaska, but we're going to go wild. I mean, we're going after everything, halibut and this and this. I mean, I'm planning on bringing back, paying for someone said, oh, it's $2,500 a person. I go, oh, I'll catch that and fish. Salmon and crab. You know what? Dungeness crab and halibuts and salmons. I mean, even if I had 150 pounds, at $10 a pound, that's $1,500.
Don't they get the Alaskan king crabs up there also?
Yeah, the king crabs, but the Dungeness are the really flavorful ones. It's kind of the whole myth of it. You get this big, huge crab leg. It doesn't have the sweetness. Yeah, it's a milder taste. And Dungeness has that whole. It busts out flavor and with butter in it. Yeah, diggity. And so I got those. I have a lot of them. And so 150 pounds. I told Ro, I go, oh, we're going to stack a dozen. She goes, I got the greatest girl. She goes, oh, freaking, I'm so stoked we get our asses up there. We're going on a bear hunt here in a month and a half. You know, just with her, she goes, I can't wait to make bear sausage. And I go, my dream woman.
There you go.
I'm serious. And so, you know, I mean, we got that. We're going on an elk hunt. Okay. Joe Rooz listeners, my schedule for the show.
The Roosters.
July 4th, everybody's going to be doing the 250. We're going up to CQ. Picture like some harbor town. It's like that song, Brandy, there's a port in a western town. She lays all the whiskey down. It's what it like. Yes, it's like that little port town, or just old boats and stuff. And the way the sun sets, unbelievable, especially July. So we have a salmon trip. That's July. A bear hunt in August. Elk hunt in September. A tuna fish in September. October, we're going to Sea of Cortez for tuna fishing and marlin fishing. And then November, we're going to Michigan deer hunting. I think that's enough for now, you know. And this is not rich guys. This is no rich guy stuff. I mean, I'm a retired postman. This is like, you know, freaking scraping money around. But the things I like to do, I can afford, so I save it on other end of stuff, you know. And you know, do a lot of my repairs myself. And what people would have to pay for, I don't have to. Like a car, I got my own mechanic now. We're working together. I'm maybe putting a shop together and flipping some cars and what have you. But I got the barter system going. I got my mechanic. I got this guy, a plumber, and this. So where people would have to pay $1,500 or something, I won't. So that money gets pushed to the side for the trips and what have you. So it's, you know, some of these are just driving to, and they're not that overly. I probably pay less than a hunting trip that some ladies pay for pedicures in a year. For real. You know, so I just whatever your thing is in, I just like them into. I like to, if I'm going to go on a trip, I like to bring something back.
Yeah,
you know?
Of course.
So, okay, yeah. Not just a tan, you know, so I'm a freaking marlin or something like that. You know? So that, but, so.
Wayne.
That and no freaking, no crud to bring along, but I gotta get her going. I told her, I said, you are a star in the making. I said, and we're going to work on this stuff together, the technical things. And she's doing really good. She's not feeling the best. The weather's real crummy right now. And she's been having some nasal decongestion. She's going to have some surgery here later this fall. And so for her nasal and the septum and what have you. But I don't know. My joke is I live the greatest lifestyle in this price range. I got great friends like you. And I'm thinking about, like I said, I had a bunch of wood I needed cut. There was guys I didn't know who it was for at church. They found out it was me. They showed up. Hey, dude, we're here. And we're going to finish the wood. And then we got some bonfires to do. You know what else, Joe? We're up in the mountains. You've been here. think me and her sitting around a freaking bonfire. And you got your little fire pit there.
Yeah.
We're back in the back. The other night we went fishing on whatever day it was, Monday, Tuesday, can't remember. 3:30, hoot owls, incredible owls in the woods up here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Ooh,
I've seen those. They're gorgeous.
But we could hear them in stereo from each other, hundreds of yards apart. I'm going, listen to this. Ooh, one back another, and it echo through the woods up in the mountains. I go, and it is that commercial, priceless.
It is priceless. Absolutely is. I love being out in the woods. I love getting out there and just. I don't do it enough. I need to do it more, and I will.
And the coolest thing, if I'm never even here, I'll tell you where the key is.
Yeah,
it's that open. I mean, I'll let you know where the key is, Joe. And there's the beverages up top, ice maker. I got my special Joe glasses all set up, and
nice.
And if it's wintertime, don't worry, man. We got a cracking fire, hot tub upstairs.
I was just gonna say, do you still have the hot tub?
Oh yeah.
I remember the hot tub. Yeah,
got the hot tub. I put it upstairs, outside the bedroom up there. But we got that, and
nice.
I bought me a little foot bath. So I want everybody to know, if there's anybody watching out there, I have a planter's wart. I don't know what I call it, something different. It's like a hot nail up my foot, whatever it's from. And so after the show, I got to go hobble into the urgent care and get this distributed here, man. They're going to cut it out or freeze it. It doesn't matter, because walking on this thing can't be much worse.
Do what you got to do to get rid of it, dude. That's it.
And that'd be the last thing. I get my sling off next week and my PT, and I'm on my way to never wanting to be in a car crash again this hard, at least.
Thank God for that, brother.
Oh, gosh.
Let's just hope it doesn't happen again.
Never. I did.
I'll tell you one way to make sure it doesn't happen again.
How's that?
Don't let her drive.
No, I was driving.
You were driving.
The lady ran the stop sign.
Let her drive.
Let her drive. Exactly. But she has no sense of direction. She has to use GPS to go to work every day.
Well, that's fine.
That's great. That's good. Red hair. That's all right.
There you go. All right, buddy. So what do you got for us for today? It's
just, like I said, preparing things that toolboxes and essentials that you would need in something, not just a emergency, but something you don't have to go digging after, right? Let's say, I don't know, whatever, like you said, the toilets and stuff like that, or plumbing, you got to get to the main, shut it off. Okay. But I'm getting to get a couple prepared, really good toolboxes set up, nothing electrical in them, everything you use, screwdrivers, wrenches, hammers, duct tape, the handyman's secret weapon, and some other different things in there, all in one box, roll aids too. I put those in there. And so just so you can have it for any situation, for the house, or mostly one for inside the house. I know this is all small stuff and people thinking they have it, but they don't. I mean, the other day I was thinking, where is all my screwdrivers? And I found all 37 of them. And I'm going to separate all this different stuff out. I'm just getting through everything where, I got some projects to do, and I have the big fancy tools. I know where all those are, but sometimes I just grab the box and go. And if I need to help somebody, like I said, hey buddy, I don't have to go through anything. I grab that box. It's called grab the box that you need to go maybe help somebody, a buddy. Joe needs a shelf put up, or his door need hinged. You need two guys to hold the door. One hold the door, one puts the hinges in, what have you.
Right. Yeah.
And so this is more of practical. It's a practical show today. This is being practical over things.
That's why we call you the practical prepper.
You practical prepper. It's practical things. That doesn't have to always be in a a prepper situation, because we think it's in dire need. Practical. I mean, once again, I went through the landscape of America this past week, and just we're at $6 a gallon out here. He's not happy. Nobody's happy.
I'm not happy either.
Yeah, the guys out here fishing, guys don't want to fish. Okay. FYI, before you leave the screen, we went out and fished on the site on the bank. And my dear sweetheart, she won a fishing trip in January, and we went on the trip. And I could see the guy. It's like he's giving us the free trip. You know what I'm saying? Okay, he get a tip, but he was. I would never advocate this guy. He's doing this vapor thing, and really, if you got clients on there, I don't know. Keep that stuff to yourself.
I
but
guess,
it's just his mentality. It's just. he was stern with her a couple times on how to do the line. I'm going, okay. And he's telling me how to fish. I just let those guides, tell me how to fish. Even though I caught 1,000 salmon, I just let them go. It's their boat. I got it. Hold this. And so, but I'm noticing something, Joe. And I noticed it on Tuesday when we went. There's a boat ramp, and they usually go all over the river. These guys are going off the ramp and going up about 300-400 yards and floating back. And you're going, they're not using any gas.
Yeah.
Very little gas. And here's the problem. We're fishing on the bank in that spot there. And they're asking us, you called anything yet? It was raining and stuff. There were 7 boats. These guys are paying $200-300 a shot. 7 boats times, even 30, 40 people, 1 fish.
Wow.
And so this fishing's not really that great here. It's dying off because of the hatchery fishing and what have you. But it's like I can see that the impact it's having on these guides. I'm going, how long can they sustain this where people aren't catching fish because, Joe, they can't explore the river? Now, the guides in the past, maybe go 2 miles up. You know what I'm saying? They float it all the way down and go 2 miles back and zip it back up at $2 a gallon. But at 6, they're going to be losing money if they do that. And it's changing. Everything's changing. Everything seems to be changing because of fuel. And they know it. The powers that be, the men in black and all the different names, they know this. And there's just such a corruption of politics. Some guy elected this week, or he's going to go into the general, convicted something person. Convicted in the past of some crime or something like that. And he's up for election and he's going to be in the general or whatever, one of these states. Former, armed robbery, counselor.
I don't know who that is, though. I don't know who you're talking about.
I'm trying to think who it was. Darn it. Well, the one guy who killed his daughter's attacker, the judge let him go. I'm voting for him. I'll vote for that. But the other guy was like, it was like some guy that did stole money, or it was. I'm thinking it was a bad thing, because I think we've all had it with violence against people who are innocent. I'm done. I understand the Bible and vengeance and revenge and what have you, but it's like, good gracious, we got a lot of different fatigues. There's a lot of fatigues that a lot of us have: paycheck fatigue, taxes fatigue, all the things that we go like that Dad didn't have. Our dad, and your dad had. We came home, punch a clock, got the check, raised the family. You can't. You can't do it without, sacrificing stuff that's not this. For the working guy, for us guys, the under $100,000 a year guys. It's not even $100,000 a year anymore. It's not the thing. And it's what do we sacrifice? Well, I got to keep the car another year older, put more money into it. It's not just having a new vehicle, but dependable things, or just. Is it a shame that you can't take your family on a good vacation now? Or whatever the kids might need, and you're sacrificing a lot of different things, and you, of course, sacrifice for your children and what have you to a point. But we're getting to a point where I'll call them what they are, these bastards that are lawmakers think, they can feed us little, gerbil food, and we should be grateful over it because, they've only raised their taxes 10% this year. Only, or whatever. What was the one here in Washington? It's going to go up again. Another one, they're going to go from 10 to 30%. Like I said, that's why I hunt and fish, and they raised our fishing license 40%, 40% on our fishing license. So I guess I got to go with more stuff, but practical around the home. I guess I call it this weekend. Being practical, but you need to get things kind of, tidied up. Spring leaves in the summer. We're kind of still, our spring here, it rains. It's still, like I said, the way I put it, winter goes from October 15th to June 15th. Rain does, the weather. It's from June 15th to October 15th. We might get rain around the 4th of July, a little in August, but by the rest of the year, we got a nice 4 days of rain coming in. And it comes off the ocean. People don't understand. We're in the North Pacific still. So it's a colder, it's not like the Midwest. It can rain and 2 hours later you're sweating. Midwest. So there we is, Joe. I'm going to put that out to the folks out there, a couple practical things and things, and you can put my big mug on there now and let me rip that way. All
righty. Well, folks, here he is, Dr. Prepper himself, the practical prepper, Wayne a Rankin. All right, brother. I'll see you in a few.
See you in a few. All right. Yeah, let's get practical. All right. And I mean by practical is around your house. Right now, my farm here, it is June, beginning of June, but it's raining. It's still dark. Clouds going in. And like I said, that's the Pacific Northwest. It is the North Pacific. We're up there. And so you can go to the ocean and there's no surfing out there. It's that cold. But things are changing in the garden, you know, in the Midwest, they plowed things and corn's, how high coming up. But I have a 90-day planting season here, at least if I get them in June, July, and August. And September for us is actually like a summer month. So I can afford to get seeds in by June 1st. I got some of the darker green ones, the cabbages, the kales. They've been in, they're doing really good. And I've got my beets. I grow beets and some peas. And of course, the squashes, the zucchinis, and what have you. Oh, they're all going to be easy to grow. But in general, I've just got that all done. So I've had to move on to cleaning up my property. And like I said, I've been, what do you call it? Kind of like rehabbing the past year. I'm going to have a total rehab of 1.5 years for my car crash. Pretty nasty crash. But I'm in my last phase of my right arm, my right shoulder was very extensive surgery. They had to put 6 anchors in there and cables to pull it forward. And I feel like I got chicken wire on both of my shoulders. They both had the same type of surgeries, but the right one was a little more severe. It actually severed the tendon off my bicep. So ouch. So I actually have to take it easy. I'm still in the sling. I took it off for the show because it's just cumbersome to be up against all the electronics here. But getting practical on the farm, it doesn't matter if you have a farm. You could be in the suburbs, whatever. You still have to mow your lawns and those things like that. I don't actually have to mow the lawns so much because one of the ones I got is the pasture, and the one up front, I mow it about twice a year, and the rest of it it doesn't grow like I have a lot of wildflowers out there and a lot of deer in there, so it's clover. It's not like a lawn. It's more of a wilderness lawn. So there's weeds out there, and I don't need to pluck because the deer do it. And I used to have 4-legged critters like sheep and goats, but those days are gone. And I have the chicken houses. I have to kind of get ready for the summer. Things change because it gets hotter, and we just raised up about a dozen chicks to replenish the attrition that we lost over the winter. We always lose, maybe 4 to 6 hens because of this age. And what happens, they get colds, they get sick, and they're chickens, and they do die during the winter. And so we're replenishing them. And there's a few roosters we will have for put them on sale or in the pot, fatten them up. And like I say, I like making chicken soup and putting that in the freezer and have it for the wintertime. But practically wise speaking is I'm cleaning up my toolboxes. I have a big, huge tool shed. And I just started yesterday. I didn't know I had so many screwdrivers. I have a toolbox of screwdrivers. And so what I want to build and what I want to get set up is a toolbox for the house and for yourself. I mean, if you don't have tools, go to one of those more, like I used to say Harbor Freight, but if it's that type of place, or you don't have to go high end. You get a Phillips, flathead, these new stars, and I've switched all of my screws to stars because they don't strip and they adhere better into the wood than the old Phillips. Flatheads, those are ancient for doing projects. So I call them the stars, got the 5 little points to them, and get a good bit for them. And but nothing electric in the toolbox. Anything, wrenches, hammer, utility blades. If you need some big metal cut scissors, some tin snips, I would go with that. And tape, like duct tape, a ruler, several pencils. Get the old flat carpenter, the flat ones you can use, and just use your blade to sharpen them with. And you got a good marker that way. I do have a chalk marker and a chalk line for longer distances if you can't draw across like 2 or 3 feet. And so the toolbox I'm setting up is for the house. And then in my car, I got several bags in there. One is I got a medical bag. I just ordered it from one of the sites. and I could go buy it separately. It's pretty close to what you buy and what you could get. I usually could buy one and add to what I want to put on it. And, stocking up stuff. Like I say, I like to stock up on tapes, like, different types of tape, electrical masking tape to identify stuff in your toolboxes, or different, like I get those little, I call those like little lunchbox plastic things that you snap on, snap off. They're clear. And I like to put masking tape on there, and just for quick, like if you almost like what you would have in a food pantry, if you open your toolbox and you have them all labeled, just something easy to do. Screwdrivers, knives, blades, wrenches, adjustable pliers, etc. And so I've worked really hard this week on getting set up, because I have a lot of equipment, and I have a lot of stuff I need to get started with. I'm working on I have a classic car I'm going to be start working on, 66 Mustang. We're working on the brakes here coming up next week, just for fun. There's things I like to do that I don't have to travel far, and they don't have harsh winters here. So, but I can still keep my Mustang in the shop. It's going to need bumper. It's going to need some new bumpers and some paint job, a little body work. But right now the engine's running great. It's only got about 5,000 or 6,000 miles on the block. Had someone do that way back, and we're putting it on disc brakes because my dear wife, it's hard to push all the way to the floor. And I want the safety part of disc brakes for her. I'm going to be putting a 3-point belt system on, so the old lap belt. So going to be working on the Mustang. Got a little ATV. Me and my neighbor friend who's a mechanic, where we put together all the things for the summer, spring. Went to the lawnmowers, ATV, riding lawnmower, oil changes and plugs, and this all tune-ups across the board. You buy it yourself, all the parts. Labor's cheap, free labor is good. And so my neighbor, I barter with him, and we work things out. If he comes over, works on stuff, hey, I got some deer meat, I got some jerky. He's in the guard or the reserve, so he's one of those guys that likes to eat that kind of stuff. And I'm like, hey, let's try some of the smoked salmon I got, or some jerky I did. So I always try to use that barter system. I talked about it before, and it works, especially if you get a network. And here's the thing I want to really stress this week is a support system. Now, I know Joe's down in Texas, but I know if he ever need anything, I'd get down there. I would get down there and help him set up. I want to get down there this fall and set him up with a little greenhouse. I got a little starter shelf greenhouse, but I would like to be in Texas there, get him set up with a nice, 6x6. So he could do some herbs and make some of that good Sicilian sauce that he likes, and, have some really good, maybe some, a couple of vines of tomatoes and some things that he would like to do for the winter. It's nice to have lettuce in the winter, and I do that too. But is, getting set up on my greenhouse this year. I'm going to get that set up, but I need to get everything in order first, all my tools. And like I said, being in I'm not going to over dramatize this, but in a life-threatening car crash, which I was in, we almost lost our lives. I'm not just joking about it. It was a pretty hard crash. I just a quick ran a stop sign on an old country road because there was a blind spot there, but she stopped, and then she ran it. And I don't have an answer to stay out. Other than I didn't see you, but it was impossible not to see us. But the rehab for me is a year and a half. So I'm at a year, a little plus. My half year will be taking me to almost Christmas. So I just got to be careful, no false moves, because I do not want to yank this thing out and start back over again. But one of the things I want to get stressed is a network. So locally, I have a mechanic. I'm kind of a junior mechanic. I'm a hunter. I'm a fisher, gatherer, and a farmer. And those things right there, I've covered a lot just right there. It's more than one. Very efficient stuff, and I'm good at it. And I really believe I'm good at it because I've been doing it for so long, 40 years, but I know how to grow things. My wife is now a beekeeper, and we do chickens. And as the economics are, is our food. Our food is the quality of food. Where's it really coming from? I'm reading every week another recall on something. If it's like spinach or the greens or some frozen food, and you look at the stuff you have on the markets and the preservatives. And I was reading one of the world famous ice cream places that brags about their ice cream. It's not even real ice cream that comes their soft serve. It's like one molecule away from plastic. So, I even make my own ice cream. I like doing that. And so, but I'm big on getting a network, and I have the guys that I need in my life that are trustworthy. You don't need a lot of guys, but if you're in let's say an environment in a suburb area, get together with people. I grew up in the era of front porches. You know, I was outside the Detroit area, and you could see people across the street because you're really close to each other, and you'd be listening to the game in the summer, and people did stuff in the front. We did a lot of our life stuff in the front. We had big porches or small porches. Hey, would you come over here, have a beer? My dad would say, or you just seen each other. Now everybody's in the back. Nobody sees each other. I mean, you might have a fence, and the old some call it the spite fence. It's a 6 foot high wooden one. Nobody sees on the other side, and wait for barbed wire to go up. But we've isolated ourselves, and that's the one thing I've noticed in America. We're starting to isolate ourselves. We do not get involved, which I can understand. People just don't want to get involved with other people's lives that you're not real close with. I understand that. And the trust is gone. There's trust in our country. Like I said, there are two types of way to, like I say, there's observations and criticism. Observations is, hey, I think he's doing that wrong. Criticism, the guy's an idiot. He doesn't know what he's doing. For my country in America, my observation and my criticism. My observation is things aren't like they used to be. The criticism are the people we elect don't care. They don't care. I've worked in the federal government. I work in the town I used to work in. It's the state capitol. I've talked with politicians. I've gone to where they're doing bills on gun control. We're in a very liberal, deep blue state where the criminals have more rights than the people who are the victims. And so they don't care. And this state is run by Microsoft, Amazon, and some of these companies like that. So they're taxing the stink out of people who make under 100,000. 100,000 nothing nowadays. 100,000 used to be like, you made that, you were rich. And you're not, because you're so taxed over a certain amount, over 60,000 in this state. So I've said to my dear wife, I says, she actually went to part-time in her job because the hours she works a regular full-time, it's taxed. It puts it in a different tax bracket. So we're going to be paying less, even though she's making less. So the time she has off, she's working on the farm with me, and she's working on her bees and the things we need. But I've got a good group of guys that I can say we can count on each other. And I think 3 families, like you say, if you're Joe suburb and your brother Jim outside a suburb rural area, or maybe her sister lives in another area, you get those family members. They get, go with family. If you and your wife have local family people, start meeting together and start, putting what talents you got. And that's another thing, practical wise. What practical things do you guys know? So let's say your wife's sister, her husband is a mechanic, or he's in the trades, or he does know computers, which I'm not really good at. I barely make it on this each week, and I have to have Joe walk me through it. It's just me and screens. I'm just got away from TV and the screens and everything. I got to get tech savvy again, and so I can actually show a lot of videos on how to on this show, because I think a big part of it is I'm more of aesthetic. I think they call it. I can show you, and you can show me, and that's how I learn. I can't sit there and be lectured to death. My mind will wander. I have HD ADD. It's in high def. So it's hard for me to focus sometimes. But if you've got relatives, start talking, start getting together. And like I said, I'm talking about these toolboxes, and start going over stuff, what you have and what they don't have, and vice versa. And get back to the old barbecue or I don't know, play cards or whatever. And then have that time together of what's happening in their lives and what's going on. And I'm a man of prayer. I like to say, what can we pray for? And definitely our kids. I mean, these kids are so lured away from their own homes, in the sense of not have to be away from the home. They could be in the basement. And the things they have now, we would never even think. We didn't even stay in the home as a kid. We lived on our bikes. And as the old thing said, we got up in the morning, went home when the street lights came on. And that was true. But we did not hit the predator people out there because you just couldn't get away with that. The weirdo guy, there's no weirdo guy in our neighborhood because everybody in the neighborhood knew each other. So if you're down at the park and the weirdo guy shows up, he's not going to last long. Now, hey, the guy can dress up like a drag queen and walk through the schools, but the park, and he's going to get the benefit of the doubt if someone comes and hassles him. So everybody's always got an outlet, and everybody's got an excuse. But I say get your network going. Start doing things that are really simple. Like I said, I started with my toolbox. I started with essentials. Start making lists of what you might need and get your money balanced. Another thing about money, they're talking eventually that, stocks and bonds might just be unsolvent or whatever fancy word is, not a good anymore. And so, the thing is, our country, I'm looking at, there's a certain thing of bad mouthing America. And then you can say, I like to consider myself a critical thinker. I'm constructively criticizing it. Okay. We have people in charge. They don't do what they when they got voted for in. They don't. They're going to tell you all these, we're going to cut Social Security tax. Why is there a tax on Social Security? I get an answer, but you're not going to get a straight answer. Why is there some of the taxes on property tax the way we have it? Mine got doubled at 65 years old. I'm actually now paying more for certain things because I am 65. But you can't get an answer from. You're never going to get a straight answer from a politician. So if anybody said, if I won a big lottery, I go, what's the first thing you're going to buy? I go, a politician. They're always for sale because they really are. They could care less. They come in, we have two of them here, Cantwell and Patty Murray. They've been in for 78 years, I think. Longer than I've been alive, it seems like. And they're multi-millionaires. It's pretty easy to figure that out. So they really don't care. That part of the country, it's dissolving. There's no leadership. It's them versus us. And us is like, I seen an old painting. It had all these rich guys at a table and drinking their champagne and cognac. And underneath was all the people on their all fours holding the table up. Pretty striking pose, who drew that, thinking if they only knew the people, if they stood up, they wouldn't have this table, to put on our backs. But promises. I don't want to hear it again. Trump said all these different things. None of it. We don't need another Middle Eastern war. We don't need gas this high. And I thought he was going to be different. Well, they're all the same. So boys and girls, men and women, we just have to be a little bit more self-sufficient. And you can do this. And you can get online. You can look at all the different sites. Yeah, everybody can call themselves a prepper. The Princess Prepper, the New York Prepper, the Practical Prepper. Joe threw that on there. I'm just Wayne. I know stuff, and I know how to do things pretty good. And the things I like to do, I do pretty good. And if I don't, I can get help, which I do have a good network of people I can call on. And like I say, I live in the woods, so I better know how to fix stuff. And, fix the pipe, turn the water main off if the pipes are going, or, get the car started. If not, get on my bike. But I was looking the other day where they were saying about how food prices are staggering out of people's checks, the amount they're paying percentage-wise on their check. Gas and food is taking up a massive amount. That's just the gas and food. Remember, we have taxes, have insurance, and a mortgage. So those 5 items right there. So I'm starting down here at the bottom. Nothing I can do about gas. I really can't. But the food, how you can, buy certain ways, and I've done it in past shows, how to start small. But starting small doesn't mean you can't get the staples you need and get them at an amount where you can save more when you buy more, and actually changing your diet too. We live in a diet in America, a lot of preservative foods. I mean, some of these little boxes that you get, if there's more than 5 ingredients, I wouldn't trust this stuff. I just bought a protein powder. It has 3 ingredients. There was one. It was way too many ingredients. I had a turkey meat at one of the grocery stores. I turned it over. There was 20 ingredients in the sliced turkey. Well, what's in the turkey? I thought turkey was in turkey. That, salt, water, I don't think anything more than turkey. So I actually raised my own chickens. My next big purchase is going to be a meat slicer. I have my own turkeys. I'll smoke them. I'll roast them, slice my own turkey meat. And I have my own deer roast. I'll slice my own roast. And I'm just pretty good at that. I just did a brisket, sliced my own brisket. But I understand if you have children and they're small, and I got it. But it's doing some homework. And actually, that's a good place to start. And I was going to say I was looking at building my own well, how to dig my extra well, because I have a well. I'm up in the mountains. I have my own well. I have my own septic system, my own sanitation. I have my own heat source, electrical. I'm going to be putting a little wind turbine in and get that started for case for backup. I have generators. So I have a propane stove I don't do electrical stove, and I don't do natural gas. So I do a propane stove, drilled a hole through the wall, one of the big 100 gallon tanks or whatever they are. Lasts about 6 to 8 months on just regular cooking. So I got a few years worth of propane to cook on my regular cooking. I like cooking with a flame. So I'm peculiar. I'm different. And like I said, I'm not the norm of this. And even though I grew up in a modern city of Detroit, I was born in Detroit on the east side, but on the outside. But my parents were from the Appalachians. They grew up in the Depression. These people knew how to farm. That's what they did back in the they picked cotton when they were like 10, 11, 12 years old in the Depression. So they taught us a lot of stuff on how to do this. So I guess that's an advantage I have, And so I'd say get on the internet. Stop scrolling stuff that's just, that's another thing. What do you scroll? What are you looking for? To be entertained or to be learn to be educated? And I find myself YouTube. There's pretty much everything on YouTube. If you need to get fixed, it's on YouTube. The guy may only have 40 views, but if you're fixing a giggly bob on something that broke, there's always someone who had the same problem. They're trying to fix the same thing you're looking to fix. So that always helps. And I just had to take they call it the cabin filter out of my truck. My wife did it. I said, just you check it. She's like, I got it done. And she's pretty resilient. She knows mechanical stuff a little bit, and she knows how to build stuff. And she can frame a house with me if I had to, and a little shed or something. We've done that already. We built a chicken house together. But she said, hey, I got the cabin filter. The guy, step by step. And he did it really easy. And you go through the glove box, take the glove box out, then take this off, slide this. And I thought she was just going to go look at it, but she actually did the job herself. So YouTube does have a lot of knowledge because everybody's done something, it seems, once. And that model you have on your lawnmower, someone has that model. They need to take the blade off and get it sharpened. And so, man, what I've got in store this year, I'm going to do a little bit different stuff here for the winter. I'm looking at to get a lot more blackberries than I usually get because I'm going to be working on syrups and jams. And I'm for the people who can't have seeds, I'm working on making jellies this year because a lot of people have the diverticulitis, and so people have a hard time digesting seeds because I like to make these to trade with and give for gifts. Everybody in my network, they know they're gonna get something if they do. I'm not a real Christmas gift person anyhow, and I like they expect stuff like that, jam, some smoked salmon, or some. We're gonna do some. I'll go hopefully catch some tuna this year out the ocean, and we'll do our own tuna fish. And I like to actually smoke some tuna, and that goes great in salads, what have you. But I like my friends like getting those kind of gifts from me. I don't need nothing there's nothing I need. There really isn't something new I need. So I would love to start doing classes again. I used to do. I called them prepper classes. People always ask about a bug out bag, and I go, you got to look at the other way. Where are you going? Where are you going to get out of? What are you trying to get out of? And why would you leave your home? Even if it doesn't have power, you still have your home. Out there, the rules change. If it's dark, most of the times, if you're if it breaks down, if things, and I'm doing air quotes, things break down in a urban area, a lot of crazy stuff happens fast. and people will shoot before asking questions, and they get violent. It's getting violent out there anyhow. So I would tell people to stay home, hunker down, and I got a lot of candles I've saved. And someone at a craft show, they're gonna asking about their wax, and they said, "Well, I've reused it all. You can use wax for a lot of stuff to start a fire and to melt it down. And you just go buy some wicks at the hobby shop, and you can buy a little mold. Use it. Get a glass. Get one of those, or get a tin can. You can always make a candle in that. Pour the wax in there, get it heated, put the wick in there. You got a candle, because it's a heat source. I've seen one where you can put a candle. And I haven't got it yet. One of those little gray pots that you would grow stuff in, and actually distributes heat that way too. Go on to YouTube, look at that up. And so heat source, light source, and it starts with a match. For matches, I keep these little like prescription bottles. I don't throw my prescription bottles away. I rip the labels off, and I keep matches in there with a striker, and I put those in my bag. Put those in my glove box. Simple little stuff like that. So I'm going through all my stuff on the back deck. I got some pictures I'm going to show. I'm going to get going and show some pictures, some video. Oh, there it is right there. Joe put them up. That's one part. That's just one section of the deck. Like I said, I guess I am a connoisseur of toolboxes, screwdrivers, pliers, but it's also two families put together too. When I married big. She had a lot of tools from her dad, so we're trying to get those all separated, and she wants to give some back to her brother from her dad's stuff. But as you can see right there, that little red tray, I got some electrical pliers that I really like, and a few screwdrivers. The electrical stuff is over to the right there. I got some, of course, right there, my favorite tool, my screw gun with the power box there, and I keep 2 or 3 of those power packs with it. An axe, which I got to sharpen. And, I got some trees cut down. We're building some axe, not that type of axe. We're going to build us a axe throwing area. I mean, the tree I got is like 3.5 foot tall, circular. And I'm putting it on a couple of logs that I've already cut. So there's some entertainment there. Do not drink and throw axes. I know bars are doing it. Something just tells me not right there. There's my masking tape. There's my plumber's caulk right there. I got a sledge there. There's a mask up there, the top left there. I was using it for cold, but I also, to the right side over here, I got little drill bits. I got some bigger drills. I got, let me see, I got, what else is over there? Some little pieces of saw. I got some little files. That's just one section I went. And those little plastic totes there, they're great. You go to the $1.50 store now. Those are great. You can see through them. You can stack like how many high in the box I'm going to rebuild. I'm going to build a different box, a toolbox. So picture those at eye level and down, a couple shelves, and all of those will be stacked up with just a piece of the masking tape on the front of it, and good to go. It's like, grab and go tools. And I know this may be boring to people, but I like to be prepared. Oh, there's the box I'm tearing apart. So there's the wasp spray. There's some more electrical stuff. Right in the middle there to the left is electrical wire cutters, some screws, some painting stuff. I got it, and of course tape measures. I don't ever have a shortage of those. And another thing, whatever plastic, like I don't do glass, but the plastic, like say peanuts or something you get at a Costco, whatever, snacks, keep those. Plastic's great because glass breaks. So you see, I have 2 of them right there, one on each shelf. Don't even know what they were. Maybe they're pretzel or whatever Costco's having, because you can drop it, doesn't break. I put my screws or whatever you think. If you got tons of massive screws that are different, but I like to put my 3-inch, 2.5, and I'll measure them on down. I go usually 3 inches all the way down to about 1.25 inches. So I'll have 5 of those all set up because I live on a farm and I'm always adhering something together. And like I said, that box there, it's going to go. It was a home for many rodents, and I'm going to get a more efficient one because the shelving isn't right. It's 3 big areas, and you just stack each other. So I'm going to put each shelf to where I can only put 1 or 2 of those little plastic containers and go all the way down to where I can have toolboxes on the bottom that are labeled. So practical, preparing for living on the farm. And that works for me. And I will say this, I'm the guy you want to call. Yeah, really, I am. I am a handyman's handyman, and I'm a poor man's MacGyver. I will say that. I've got that down. As I jokingly say, Joe, I can escape a Turkish prison with a diaper and some dental floss and use it as a parachute getting out of there.
Yes, he can. Yes, he can. All right.
They're shooting at me, waving around. Okay. Yeah. I hope I kept people. It's I'm thinking, I'm not boring you to death, but it's like when you see the pictures, then everybody go, wait a minute, my place looks a little like that. I'll be the first to admit, I've had my life totally, and you know me, buddy. You seen me about a year and a half ago, vibrant and going. It's took me a lot to get out of bed and to have someone help dress me. This is not no whoa story. Literally, it almost got killed. But I mean, I still got to get my knee this, but I unofficially broke both my arms.
Yeah. Well, listen, you really got banged up pretty bad. You got hurt bad.
I mean, both of my shoulders I have 12 cables, 6 each with anchors holding my shoulders together. So that's why this place looks the way it does. And like I said, even my farming, I should have had this stuff, a couple of months ago. My greenhouse is empty and I got to get into there. And I'm about 6 months behind in my life right now. So next week we're going to paint the house and hunkered down, and we're going to have a lot of fun stuff to do. And we're going to put on a trip down to San Antone or have Joe and the family fly up. I've got people. I'm working behind the scenes, Joe. I'm working behind the scenes. No, I'm working behind the scenes. And I got people.
That's why I laugh, bro, because I know you're serious and I know what you're capable of, and it scares me sometimes. So.
One call, man. One call. Guy's coming to your door.
That's it.
Your Uber's ready, Mr. Rooz. Your Uber's been paid for and ready. We're taking you to the airport with the kids. We got whatever containers ready for them. And people have donated. You're flying in. You're going to have the guy at the, have someone with a sign waiting for you as you come down the escalator.
Rooz.
Rooz. That's all it's going to say. And like I said, you got treated really well when you were here last time.
I did.
It's going to be double. It'll be double because,
Well, it's not necessary, but I appreciate it.
I don't believe that. See, that's how I live my life, though. My friends have always said this. Bob Seger, he had this song, even though the song was Beautiful Loser, about, he's the perfect lodger, the perfect guest. Mm-hmm. He always wants to be second best. He's always going to treat you good. It's just, I'm like that. I like,
get you.
I like treating people good. And
you do. And you're a good man. And that's why you're my friend. And that's why we've been friends for so many years. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So that's a blessing.
And it's not, like I said, once again, like anything else I try to do, it's not much out of my realm. Like it's between me. I got a tag team partner. My gosh, we could rip open a Waldorf store, and the area, right? Okay. Meal that would compete against theirs. Yeah. I can 100% guarantee that.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. The steaks I've got, Joe, they're Black Angus from Eastern Oregon.
Beautiful. Can't get better than that.
They're not better in the whole United States. I don't care what these rich guys can say. And I got the grills. And like I said, between me and Rose, she's 5-star pastry chef. She's cooked with the world's greatest. Emerald, Bobby Flay, all those guys. Dean Ferry, and she's cooked at some places all over Rock Stars and where she worked at. So yeah, she's got the credentials. And like I said, I know soup sauces and entrees, and she can do the other side. So yeah. And the dogs, I got a perfect area for the puppies to hang out in. They got a courtyard. So yeah. The cat might be a different story though. He's going to keep us different. They won't catch him. It'll be, but he's a cool cat. He's really cool.
Well, they won't anyway, because especially with Charlie, with how his legs are right now.
Yeah, I know.
He's not running anywhere.
Yeah. So, but I'm going to work on getting some film. I'm going to get my tech going, okay, before she goes back to work. And I'm going to work on getting some filming in so people, I don't have to babble so much. Like I said, I'm here, Wayne, I want to show you this. That's what my strong point is. That really is.
Well, that's what we're expecting from you. So whenever you're ready to do that, you do it. You're good to go.
Like I said, we're going to be painting the house next week. That might be an adventure, But I even got people. It's kind of funny when you have this gorgeous, beautiful wife. People want to help. They really do. But it's not just that. She has something inside of her. She just really does. And like I said, what she does for, and I'm going to say what she does for the just less fortunate.
Yeah.
And you keep your mouth shut about what you do when you do that. You don't blow your own horn, as the Bible says. And people are seeing it. One thing though, they have seen, she's joined a security team, which I know you. She even said, "I wonder what Joe would think." I go, "He'd be proud of you." I'm proud of you.
Fantastic.
I'd be proud of you. I'm proud of you. I know Joe would be, and she looks like not just security. She has a law enforcement look. They got vests. Before I go, Joe, the guy who's leading the whole team, he's a really great guy. And he said, "Yeah, I'm really impressed with her. She knows a lot of stuff." He goes, "We're going to be doing a handgun training course." Fantastic. I love it. I want your last step. I'm an opinion for you, Joe. I do. This is actually, I want all the things you know as a pastor, as a biblical guy, as a law enforcement, et cetera, et cetera. Had a discussion with somebody that thinks they know everything. She thinks she does. And she thinks that because you got a security team, you don't have faith.
That's ridiculous.
Our church doesn't have this. Pastor doesn't believe we need one. I go, that's the church you're going to attack. I mean, I don't know. That whole thing ridiculous. About why are you preparing, Wayne? You don't have no faith. I go, well, how about Joseph, Prince of Egypt? He was told to prepare for 7 years from the God Almighty.
That's right. And also, if you read the Gospels, you hear the Lord talk about, selling a garment to buy a sword. There's a reason for that.
I said that. That's what I used as my comeback was. This person said it. We don't need a security team. I said, well, Jesus said, Peter said, sell your coats and what have you. Get some blades for the road. Right. It wasn't for cutting fruit.
That's right.
So, she's really feels good, and it's really cool.
She should. She's doing a good job, and she's great for you. She's taking good care of you,
and she loves you too. She loves you. She concerns about you and you down there, and she'd be loved cooking and cleaning and helping out and doing stuff.
I appreciate.
But the other thing is just taking a ride and just having fun and doing a barbecue back there and doing the greenhouse because that's what we're all okay. I hope the show expands like crazy because that's all we're all about. There's nothing more. I got a guy who makes how many good millions a year, 2 or 3 million a year. He goes, dude, your life is like touring with Mick and the Stones. He said, it really is. He says, You're all over the place. Up in Alaska chasing moose on a snow machine. You know how cool that was?
Of course it's cool.
Oh, there's a herd over there, I know it's our thing. Thanks, Joe.
All right, brother.
I'm gonna work. This next week is gonna be good. I'm gonna get my sling off. I don't have it right now because I just got it hanging right here, and I get the sling off. And PT's going, and the farmer's gonna get rolling, and got some fish to go. I really am gonna do a show on smoking fish. It may not be everybody's bag, but I'm gonna show them what it takes to dehydrate some stuff. We're going to be doing some sausage making. I know. It's probably everybody's different.
Going to teach everybody how to smoke a fish.
Yeah, but you know what? It's better than buying it for $19.99 a pound.
Of course.
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah. So, but we got one monstrous box when we come to San Antonio, man. It's going to be one of those black ones with the yellow tops. It's going to be. It's good.
They're not
okay, Joseph.
Pass through customs.
Oh no. Okay, Joseph. No, I'm afraid.
I'm sorry, not custom.
TSA or whatever.
TSA.
Yeah. TSA. Well, my world, they probably got me.
That's true. I mean, you do live in a world of your own, so who knows? All right, brother. We got to wrap this up.
Okay.
We got to wrap it up, my brother. All right. So, folks, Wednesdays with Wayne is on the roll here. All right. So we're over the hour. We got to get moving here.
Okay.
Folks, shout outs, of course, to our producing team, executive producers, Wayne Rankin, Rosanna Rankin, Carolina Jimenez, Angela Watuski, and John Seeley. Folks, these guys donate their time, their talent, their treasure, and without their help, there's a lot of stuff on this show we would not be able to get done. So we really do appreciate that. We're incredibly thankful and blessed to have everybody as part of our team. Now, listen, if you want to help us out, very simple. Just head over to the website, joerooz.com/support. It's joerooz.com/support. And there are plenty of options for you. You got the one-time donation, any amount. You got the recurring donation in any amount. And then, of course, you also have the producer tiers. Now, all of those producer tiers come with the shout-out on every show. Executive producers get to come on the show with us. And we're also in the process of working with the IMDb to get you certified so that you can actually use it on your resume and say that you are a producer, officially, a credential. That would be awesome. So we're working on that, and it's coming down. All right. The holdup is that IMDb actually goes through and somebody actually looks at each and every application that comes through. It's not done computerized. It's not, it's all manually done. So it takes time. But once that comes through, these guys are going to have their IMDb certification as well as the show. So it'll be a great, great boost for you, for me, for everybody involved. So take a look at the website, joerooz.com/support. And if you can help us out, we would really appreciate that. All righty. Well, with that said, I think it's time for us to say goodnight. Folks, again, thanks so much for being here tonight. We really do appreciate it. Thank you to Wayne and for all of his practical advice. We really do appreciate that as well. Folks, don't forget the website, joerooz.com, joerooz.com, and check out the contact form. Send us a message. Let us know what you think. All right, folks. Make Texas independent again. Go podcasting. Keep a steady stride. And more importantly, folks, keep talking. You have a great night, and we'll see you next time. Good night, folks.